to Kart Builds. On this episode, I'm mocking up a four-wheel drive system for the off-road go-kart slash crosskart. It's got Polaris ATV front hubs that have Hilliard clutches in them that act like differentials. I'll talk more about that in a minute. It's got CV axles that are driven by this sprocket that's driven by a chain from the rear jack shaft. I built in the best I could the kingpin inclination for the geometry. It's got the original Polaris Outlaw front A-arms, and I put razor ball joints. They were the same size, they're different style, little bit lower profile because the CV axle's here. So now I'll take this apart and show you the inside. Wheel bearings, Hilliard clutch, just goes on a spline here with this nut. So the way it works is, excuse me, the axle drives this nut, and here's the armature plate. This is attracted to this electromagnet when the four-wheel drive is energized. This armature plate gets attracted to the magnet, and this armature plate has 3 tabs on it that locate on the Hilliard clutch. So this always stays engaged here. When the electromagnet is energized, it creates drag on this plate, which creates drag on this cage. So the relationship between this nut and this cage changes. This spring tension gets overcome by the magnetic force, which ramps up these barrels and engages on the hub to complete the four-wheel drive circuit. Here I'm just showing a few different angles of the build. I used Polaris Sportsman front CV axles, Polaris Sportsman hubs. Here's a shot of the front sprocket, 1.25" axle hollow, 1/4" wall thickness, chain driven from, I have to redo the rear jack shaft. I'm gonna get rid of the pillow block bearings and use the same style as the front. Here's a view from above, checking to see how I did with my alignment of the CV axle pivot and the ball joint pivots. They should all be in line, and the CV axle won't move side to side. Here I'm checking for any binding in the suspension, the A-arms. The CV axle has about 3/4 inch of plunge in and out, so with the double wishbone suspension, it reduces plunge as opposed to just a single A-arm. And so I got lucky. I think I'm just right at the range of that 3/4 inch. Started looking at different options for a front differential. I was looking at Mazda MX-5 Miata 1.6 liter differentials, and that would have been an open differential, and so I would only have one tire spinning at any given time in the front, and that wasn't, I wasn't happy with that, so I kept researching it. And the Polaris, these Hilliard clutches are really nice. They act like open differentials when you need them to, but when the back tires start slipping, they will engage. So going around a corner, when you have traction, the outside tire is allowed to spin freely and faster than the inside tire because it spins a bigger arc, and so you don't get any binding there. But if you hit mud or ice or whatever and your tire loses traction, it'll engage the inside and front tire first because that one's spinning slower than the outside tire, and if that one loses traction, it'll engage the outside tire also, so you'll have all four tires spinning and power to all four tires, which is going to be really nice. Alright everyone, well thanks for watching, and hopefully the next episode this thing will be spinning tire. I want to see this thing. If it's going to break, I'm going to break it the first time I take it out. Alright, thanks.